We have put together one of the greatest ranking tools that we have ever conjured up. Shit or not shit are the two categories that we're doing for every single position groups. Today we move on to the AFC running backs. And I realized that this running back group that we're going through, a lot of shit. Not a lot of good running backs.
Oh, you noticed that as
There's
well.
There's really not a lot of good. Some of them, I don't even know if we're really able to like move them. So, for example, first thing I had listed down here, Patriots running back room. Do we just cross that off because it's not a singular guy?
Well, I don't want to take the fun out of it, and then we can't play the.
Well, there's only a couple that applies to. We have to do that with the Steelers running back room because we haven't seen Caleb Johnson. It's presumed that he'll start. What do we do with the Chargers, the Broncos?
I would grade the Chargers on Najee Harris and company that has been there with the best that we can do at a depth approach at speculation for rookies, even though we're not really counting rookies. But as a room as a whole, where it's undecided and we have multiple backs,
sure.
I hope that the listening audience can appreciate the pre-vote discretion that we're giving, that it might get a little hairy with some of these because I'm not ready necessarily to go all in on calling the Chargers running back room shit or not shit without discourse. So I hope we get some favor from the audience.
We'll do the Patriots, and that includes Ramondre Stevenson, Trevion Henderson, Antonio Gibson, and Len Larison is listed as well. This is a shit with a qualifier. If Trevion Henderson can play to his potential and they use him effectively, this will be not shit. But at the current moment, this is shit because Ramondre Stevenson is probably going to be the lead running back at the beginning of the year.
Who is?
Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, Ramondre Shithorn. Everyone keeps on telling me Ramondre is like so good and that he's going to be so great. Every time I watch the Patriots, he's
bumbling and slow.
Bumbling and slow is a perfect descriptor. Does he get in the end zone sometimes? Sure. A lot of NFL players do. A lot of NFL players could be blindfolded and find their way to the end zone. Ramondre seems like he's at times playing with a blindfold on. So it kind of works here. Patriots, no love there for the running back room.
Yeah. Just generally, if it wasn't for Trevion Henderson, this would be a barren, sad running back room. Although Len Larison
I'm excited for
good.
Lan.
I think Lan could do some things. Couldn't have landed in a better spot for where they love their white running backs.
You want to look me in the eyes and tell me it's Vrabel's team now, and it's a new Patriots era. You want to look me in the eyes and tell me Len Larison on a 2015 Patriots team wouldn't be a star and wouldn't be owned on 50% of fantasy apps? He would be a monster on those teams.
Physical profile, 6 foot 215. God, he's got a great mustache. Rooting for him. All right, let's move on to the Jets. Breece Hall. You know what? I think that at one point a lot of people were projecting that Breece Hall could have been a really good running back in the NFL. And he's just never really taken that step. He's always just been there, but not all the way there. This last season, he had 876 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns, 463 receiving yards. He does enough. He's productive. He provides a little bit of a spark. What do you think?
I am delighted to finally talk with somebody honestly about Breece Hall, a running back who has not passed 5 rushing touchdowns in a season or eclipsed 1,000 rushing yards in a season. Has he caught some passes and had some receiving yards? Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was checkoff Charlie last year, and he had to throw it to somebody. I guess Breece Hall to my side down there somewhere. That's all Aaron Rodgers was saying. He wasn't throwing it all the way down to Garrett Wilson.
No.
Breece Hall, disappointing. Breece Hall also expectations being added on to why he's on the shit list for me because people were propping him up as the next great running back. You need to have this guy on your team in fantasy. You have to watch out for Breece Hall. Not really. I don't. I've watched him play. If he's untouched on the sideline, he could bust it 80 yards and be a big home run hitting back. But he is not that, and he is honestly he's on the shit list.
I also think that like last year, their offensive line was improved. It's not like it was a top 5 offensive line. You would think that with all the awkwardness offensively, the inability for Aaron Rodgers to play to the expectation that everyone was hoping he would, you would think that they'd be able to get more out of Breece Hall. And they didn't. He's not a 1,000-yard rusher. He was a nice weapon in the passing game. I wouldn't be shocked if this year he doesn't pop off more, but yeah, I think Breece Hall belongs in the shit category. Devon A-Chain. This is going to be an interesting one. Miami Dolphins. Oh, it's a bad call.
Come on.
Bad
Joe.
shout.
His best year was when he was splitting time with Raheem Mostert, who had 17 touchdowns and outshined him, a 30-plus-year-old running back in Raheem Mostert, outshined Devon A-Chain, who could be the most exciting running back in the league, but is not lending himself the availability to be as such. So he is not qualified to be on the not shit category for me.
Wrong. Last season, he was 13th in all-purpose yards, 1,500 all-purpose yards. He had 907 rushing yards. He had 592 receiving yards. But I think more importantly, you just painted the picture here. It's a crowded running back room. There's a crowded room, and he still managed to have 1,500 scrimmage yards. They rotate. A lot of different guys are getting touches in that running back room,
Brother,
man.
Tyler Huntley was starting games for them last season. And additionally, you can either say wrong or you can point your finger at me. You can't do both at the same time.
I can do both
You
if I
can't
choose
do
to.
both at the same time.
I'm not allowing for this one. I am overriding you. Devon H. He is a spark plug. Their offensive line has been dog ass.
Gadget player. That's what you're pitching.
But he's not
gadget player.
1,500 yards from scrimmage for a gadget player? That's not a gadget player. That's a good football player. He's a weapon. You give him the ball, he makes people miss. He's fast as hell. He's slippery as all hell. Again, that offensive line for the Dolphins is mediocre.
I would say they're bad.
He's one of the many people that make Tua look competent at times.
Well,
I'm overriding you here.
This is your okay. You know what? Because we haven't figured out the override system. Do we each get one override per cat?
Sure. That is my one override that
you're burning it on Devon A-Chain.
Yes.
Okay, fine. You know what? If that's what you're going, Devon A-Chain, and I'm putting an asterisk next to it.
Don't put an asterisk. This isn't a Mickey Mouse ranking.
That's just denoting an override.
No.
You can't have an override and not have an asterisk.
We're both smart enough to know if we overrode once already during the show. We're not going to just suddenly forget. Don't bullshit.
What do you mean? What? No. It has to be. You know which. How do we know which? In the 3-point shooting contest in the NBA, how do we know which ball is the ball that's worth 3 points when you get it in?
But this one,
because
it's not. We are not.
It's different than the other balls.
We are not downplaying the guy. This player was good enough to earn somebody standing on the table with a voting system that has 2 people and 2 outcomes. We couldn't be making this harder.
Yeah.
So he earned his spot on the all no shit team.
Deal.
Okay. No asterisk.
He should be labeled with asterisk. To say that this was I had to call in a favor to get this guy on the not shit list.
No asterisk.
Oh, no.
James Cook, Buffalo Bills.
Not shit list for me. James Cook has shown continuous growth in the league. Last year was the year of James Cook, and Josh Allen had a great year, MVP year. He doesn't do half of what he did last season if James Cook wasn't as strong as a running back as he was. Capable, competent, consistent. That's what James Cook gives you. And I will note, he's got that Derrick Henry thing about him where in the second half of games, he just starts wearing you down, chunk play, puts the dagger in you. James Cook, not shit list, and a pleasurable watch for a running back.
Just barely cracked 1,000 yards. Did have 16 touchdowns, 4.9 yards per carry is a pretty good rushing average. He was so unimpactful as a receiver that he doesn't make the top 25 players in the NFL in all-purpose yards. So he's just kind of just scratched the surface. I will allow this one because they're also a team that has contributing multiple running backs contributing. Like Ray Davis has been getting a few more touches here and there. I'll allow for this one, but his stats don't exactly scream dominance.
16 touchdowns with that with that selfish ass quarterback in Josh Allen, who's running it in a ton. Also, you think James Cook could have had 23 touchdowns last year? He could have. I think just generally. Let me look. Let me actually hold on. Let me look up how many touchdowns Josh Allen ran for. Huh.
You are at the goal line, and you have a 6'5", 250-pound mammoth.
Selfish.
Are you going to run the ball with him or the 5'11", 190-pound running back that you have? Let's use common sense here, Sean.
I think common sense says don't. Oh, I did not like that one bit. I really. Please.
I'm allowing not shit, but I'm just saying you're acting like Josh Allen isn't the man who was built more than anybody to just fall forward in the red zone.
He had 12 touchdowns rushing last year.
So
James Cook could have had 28 touchdowns last year.
I don't know if it's that simple.
Okay, let's give a couple to Ray. James Cook could have been a 20-plus touchdown guy if that big goofball wasn't just throwing his body on line. Love him for it. I love watching a WWE wrestler play quarterback in the NFL. It's really fun. It's great for the game also. And MVP. He's good at it. But he's not running that much if I'm the coach. And I'm not sending him out in the goal line getting clocked by big-ass linebackers going for the pylon when I have running backs that can do it.
As Rack placed it in the chat, he's a horse.
I love the horse.
I love the horse. He has not gotten hurt. We haven't had to put him down yet.
That's
so we're going to keep running him.
That's why we have nice contingency plans in the NFL called running backs who – when the horse doesn't need to get hit, they don't need to get hit because we hand it off to the running back.
Give the man his touchdown.
Yeah, give James Cook his touchdown.
Derrick Henry, obvious not shit. Now, this is like one of those ones, I don't know how I want to frame this. Derrick Henry could very well completely fall off a cliff this year. I think we're all kind of waiting for that. Yeah. Running back over 30 who played as well as he did last season. Everybody's holding their breath. Every single time he touched the ball, it was either, man, he's going to break this thing and completely smoke someone on the way, or he could end up going down with an injury that's going to take him out for 4 weeks. Even though he's as big as he is, you still recognize
that where your head was going.
Sometimes you're watching him, and you're like,
start this.
He'd be like a little slow getting up, and you're like, is he good? It's like watching an 80-year-old man fall down. It's like, should I be worried? Or he's getting up. He's fine. Okay,
we're good. I'm tracking you. You're using some really concerning descriptors for Derrick Henry, an 80-year-old man.
He's over 30 and he's a bruising running back. What do you mean?
A bruising running back keeps getting up. That's what Jim Brown.
Jim Brown was
the last player to get up off the field every time he was tackled. People called him a big baby. He was taking a little rest. You know why? Because he was a bruiser.
All I'm saying,
you're right about the fall off.
Yeah,
you're right about it because
it's possible.
When it happens with Derrick Henry, it's going to be a sad day because it's just going to happen. It's not going to be, Derrick Henry got 800 yards this year and he got 600 the next year and now he's RB2. It's just going to be Derrick Henry, no longer starting running back. We don't need your services. Follow the Adrian Peterson path.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't kind of get like a little bit of a, like a run off into the sunset. Like they just slowly start taking carries away from him. And then he just, eventually gets less of a role. I don't know.
I thought we were getting that in Tennessee. And I think the league thought they were getting that in Tennessee until they put him in Baltimore.
So much better in Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm crossing off Caleb Johnson. We're not allowing this. This is an interesting one. Chase Brown, Bengals. Shit or not shit? All right. Before I let you make a fool of yourself. Chase Brown last season was 12th in all-purpose yards. 1,350 all-purpose yards. Sorry, wait. 1,536 all-purpose yards. He had 1,350 scrimmage yards, 990 rushing yards. He had 360 receiving yards, and he also had 186 kick return yards. So he also contributed, one of the rare guys that contributed as a kick returner.
How many touchdowns did he have?
I don't have that pulled up.
It's shocking with the full stat page.
Well, I have listed in front of me the all-purpose yardage leaders because I don't want to be. I don't want to be sitting here like just blindly talk. Like I just like to have that like added context. Rushing touchdowns. He had 7 rushing touchdowns. He had 4 receiving touchdowns.
How am I going to make a fool of myself by calling Chase Brown not shit? How am I going to do that? You just hijacked me before I said he was going to not be shit because I needed a beat for Chase Brown, a still somewhat unproven running back, but when he has the ball in his hands, very electric, can change the exact pace of the offense by getting carries over 5 yards. And when he does such, the offense flows way better. I'm a fan of Chase Brown. Chase Brown is a stud running back, fast and physical. Like him, not shit.
My only thing with Chase Brown,
Oh my God.
it kind of feels like one of those guys, one of those running backs that is just the secondary piece to a really good quarterback. And he's got a pretty crowded running back room, and they just drafted Taj Brooks. And I kind of wonder if Taj Brooks doesn't steal a little shine from him. I'm not saying, before anyone gets all butthurt, I'm not saying, oh, this asshole said Taj Brooks and well, I'm coming back at the end of the season.
Please do.
I think that what would realistically happen is like Taj Brooks runs for 400 and Chase Brown runs for 700 instead. I think that there's value for a team like the Bengals in the way that they haven't, like, since Mixon, even with Mixon, like, I feel like they've never been like, we need to get this guy 30 carries.
Yeah, Chase Brown's a different back than Mixon, though. Chase Brown is a we need an actual jolt to the offense. Let's get him the ball. And remember that it's football and we can run the ball, and Joe Burrow doesn't have to do it with his arm every single play. I like Chase Brown. I didn't like that you almost had a qualifier on Chase Brown on the not shit list because I said he was not shit.
I kind of feel a little gross, though, that because we always have to revisit previous placements.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not feel gross having Chase Brown in not shit and Breece Hall in shit?
No, I don't.
All right.
Because there's also expectations, and we work within context, and it's a shared context in the football world.
Use some more buzzwords.
If you're not sharing the same context as all of us, hey, is King Buzzword getting on my dick right now? That's crazy. We're all kind of sharing the same context here in the football
right back
world.
to it.
Yeah, I will go right back to it. Everyone said Breece Hall was going to be RB1. I heard Breece Hall RB1. I read it in a magazine that Breece Hall should have been the 1-1 fantasy football pick by a reputable organization.
That's why I don't really totally buy into the pure fan. Whatever. We're not going to
You're right. But Breece Hall did not finish 1-1.
All right, we got a lot more running backs we got to get through. We got to get on time here. Browns off the table. Quinshon Judkins hasn't played. They also drafted Dylan Sampson. Like, we just don't know.
Jerome Ford's still there?
Jerome Ford's still there. Like, Jerome Ford.
I'd put him in shit, but I like Jerome Ford.
But he is going to slowly get. Quinshon is going to get all those carries.
Sampson should get more than Jerome Ford.
I wouldn't be shocked if Jerome Ford doesn't end up just getting pushed out with the fact that they drafted 2 running backs. Yeah, it's not feeling good for me. Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby. Shit.
Yeah, it's shit. Etienne was super exciting, a prospect that I think a lot of people thought was going to be can't miss, and the Robin to Trevor Lawrence's Batman, whoa, not as such. And he was a dynamic college player, super fast, speedy, agile. They didn't really flex a lot of that in the NFL. Couple flashes, couple spurts. Nothing that impactful, and you got to hold on to the rock in the league, man. You have to. Bigsby, running back 2, and a good one at that. But running back 2s are not on the not shit category.
Yeah, to put it in context here, ETN 558 rushing yards, only 2 touchdowns, 766 and 7 touchdowns for Tank Bigsby, and we didn't really have very much receiving production. Bigsby had 7 catches for 54 yards. ETN had 39 for 254. Here's what's even freaking crazier. If we look at this, it's all kind of coming together. Actually, that's a bad way of phrasing it. To look back at what was the Jaguars last year, it was Brian Thomas who had 1,300 scrimmage yards, which was basically all receiving. And then the next highest was Etienne, it was Tank Bigsby who had 820. So they were awful. They were completely awful. Do you have Jalen Warren at 16. We haven't gotten to Jalen Warren's technically, I don't think he's going to be the lead running back with the Steelers. So that was, let's quickly address that one. We're not going to do the Steelers running back room because Caleb Johnson hasn't played yet. And he's going to start. They didn't draft him as early as they did to start Jalen Warren.
To satiate Sloppy Joe Star, thank you. Good name also.
Great name.
For YouTube. No, Jalen Warren would not make the not shit category. Good running back. And
he's asking if he's at 16 in the AFC, so that means he'd be last.
Oh, I think I would put Jalen Warren.
I'd put him above the Patriots' whole running back room and the Jaguars' running back room.
I would as well. Yeah, he's not dead last in the AFC.
See, Gator Bills agrees with me about how Josh Allen is one of the best 2 running backs in the AFC. He gets it. He understands the picture
because he's
a better running. He's a better running back than James Cook. Get it right.
You're crazy.
All right, we need to stay on track here. Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor. Hey, stop losing focus over there. Jonathan Taylor. I feel like at one point this would have been a very defiant, not shit. He's clearly one of the best running backs in the NFL. I feel like I don't reserve that same judgment.
I am going to go out on a limb and say Jonathan Taylor, not shit. I have many reservations because I believe in Jonathan Taylor's prime. He was in a weird spot with his back injury. He was in a weird spot with the Colts. They have a bunch of maniacs running that team and coaching that team. I don't think it was a very nurturing environment for a young running back who in his first 2 years had over 3,000 rushing yards and damn near 30 rushing touchdowns. I don't think he was treated very well in Indianapolis. And I thought he was going to be out quick. And he wasn't. He stuck it out. He had a great year this past year. I'm in on Jonathan Taylor still. And if you're a longtime listener to the show, you would say, Jesus, Sean, you sound like the biggest loser hypocrite ever. Jonathan Taylor should be a player that you wouldn't reside with in not shit. He is, but he isn't. He's good. He's good. And he had 1,400 yards last year. Well, over 10 touchdowns. I'll take that.
The craziest part, and kind of like what I was talking about, where the perception of Jonathan Taylor, he's not shit or not. He is. You can't really categorize him as shit or not shit because of his injury history over the last 3 years. In 2022, he only played 11 games. In 2023, he only played in 10 games. 2024, he only actually played in 14 games this year and still ran for 1,400 yards and 11 touchdowns. So, that's something that we forget, that they were that good. He was really the only reason why they were in the conversation for the playoffs in the AFC was because he was running so well. And then you saw the wheels obviously fall off when he's not fully available at times and he is banged up. I think that I would never say that Taylor is shit, but the injury stuff for me is always just one of those, hey man, when does this really,
it's nagging.
When is this over? When is this done? When guys start being in and out over the last 3 years, at a certain point, the floor falls out.
Another reason I think Taylor gets some undeserved hate, he does it kind of ugly. He does it ugly. He will run into the back of his center 3 times in a row for a net of 1.2 yards. And then the next drive, it'll click, and he has 70 yards on the drive, and Mo Alley-Cox gets a touchdown. Everyone's happy. It's ugly. It's weird, but he is a good running back. I will have him on not shit.
What do we think of Tony Pollard? I feel gross saying that he's a not shit running back. He is one of those guys over the last 3 years that has kind of just done enough. 1,000 yards every single year in the last 3 years. He only had 5 touchdowns. The offensive line for Tennessee has been a little bit of a musical chairs of them trying to figure it out. He's not much of a receiver, only 238 receiving yards on 41 receptions. I feel like if we were talking about at the end of the year that he's not even he's slowly starting to fall from grace. Yeah. He's not as prominent. He's not as big of a name as
Spears starts getting
more carries. Yeah. I feel like he's kind of on that track.
You nailed it with your first sentence, actually. I did not need another rationale from you. It feels gross to have him in not shit. Tony Pollard 2 years ago look at me. I'm standing on the table, shirt off, dick out, talking about Tony Pollard for president.
Why does your dick need to be out?
Because I'm passionate about this sport, Joe.
I don't think you.
How do you express your passion?
I don't think you're swaying a lot of people with your dick out.
My dick isn't swaying very much either.
If you had your shirt off, you get people's attention. But if you take your dick out, I think a lot of people are like, all right, this conversation's over.
Yeah, that it would be a showstopper, but people are going to get the point when I have Pollard for president on my chest. That is not
on your dick.
No, I couldn't write it all. You think I could fit Pollard for president on my dick?
I don't know, man.
I couldn't.
Okay.
Could you? Oh, I choose not to share.
Depends on the set. I mean,
I would need to be fully erect and off a honey packet for it to me to get president for Pollard.
I don't sound like that. Don't fucking do that.
You don't like your new rendition?
No.
Oh well, Tony.
All right, I know that we're not doing rookies for these lists, but I'm willing to put Ashton Genty in the not shit category.
So
before he even
in.
takes a snap. This man is going to be at the very least an 1,000-yard rusher. He is going to be so dynamic for the Raiders. I know that I've kind of had a little bit of pause with him going to the Raiders. I still think he's going to be awesome. Even if he only rushes for 900 yards this year and it's a little frustrating and we're like, man, I thought we were going to get a little more from him. The ball knowers are going to know that watch the Raiders games for yeah, Ashton Genty was still the only bright spot on that offense.
You're right.
Except for Brock Powers, obviously.
Here's the problem. The ball knowers will get conflated with the excuse makers and the apologists. And that's when people start getting looped in to categories. I'm Team Genty, not shit. I know what I see. I know what he is as a running back. I know what he can do in this league. Not shit. He should be a perennial not shit. He should be a guy next year that we say,
God, I hope we don't.
Is it even a question?
Bite us in the ass. I really do.
I gotcha. I'm with you. I'm rooting for him hard.
Are you hard rooting for him though?
Oh, Tony Pollard, yes.
I'm not even gonna pitch him. Isaiah Pacheco is shit. I'm tired of the whole bit. He runs so hard.
Okay.
Do you see how hard he steps? No, he's one of those. He's one of those guys. He's the guy for anyone who's worked in a corporate setting that just looks really locked into his computer. Just everyone seems really busy. Just seems really busy. But the minute that it hits 5 o'clock, he's up and he's out of there. He shows up at 9:05 every single day, and you're kind of like, did he do anything today? It looks like he's putting in so much effort every single time he runs, and then he gets 3 yards.
Here's the problem. With the judgment on this show is Joe's correct. And also, if you're a player and a joke about you has been beat to death over years,
automatically ruins our perception.
It just ruins it. Isaiah Pacheco looks like he bites people. Was funny. Maybe the first time I saw it after his second game in the league. It's been years, and you are still making the same jokes. He has a unique running style. It's not traditionally effective. It's not really effective. Is it effective? Yeah. Rough. Really rough scene. Isaiah Pacheco. Love the energy. Love it.
Omarion Hampton, Najee Harris. You know what? Okay. I think if we can't do Omarion Hampton solo.
Yeah.
We can't do Najee Harris, or if we did Najee Harris solo, he would be shit at the current moment.
Correct.
I would argue, because we're going dual deployment here, if we went with both these dudes, they make one not shit running back.
I almost want to just take Najee Harris out of the equation entirely and just give Omarion Hampton.
But the problem with Omarion Hampton is he's extremely unproven, and there's a legit shot that he's just the next Najee Harris. And I'm very high. I compared him to beast mode. I compared him to Marshawn Lynch when he was coming out.
But the problem with Najee Harris is that he's Najee Harris. And he has been on the shit list for me since year 2. And it has been a harsh shit list for me with Najee. I have been a harsh critic of Najee because he is the king of wasted movement. He never goes anywhere. At least Isaiah Pacheco makes it look like he's trying. Najee Harris does the same goddamn thing. And he doesn't even look cool or flashy or silky or strong. He is just a dude taking a handoff, and maybe that's what the traditionalists like. I don't. I also can't really put a Chargers running back room with a Jim Harbaugh-led offense in the shit category. I know he made J.K. Dobbins look. I can't. I have too much
productive,
cognitive dissonance on this running back room.
We'll put him in shit. We will put him in shit. There's the contingency, and then this applies for the last grouping that we have. RJ Harvey, Audric Estime, Jaleel McLaughlin for the Broncos. This is one where if it was just Audric Estime and Jaleel McLaughlin, that is a Two Stooges-esque running back room where you've got big and slow and small and not very powerful. So you know, it's not a very good combo. It's not a very. And both guys have 1 million carries under their belt from college. Jaleel McLaughlin has like 6,000 college career because he's like I think he's like the NCAA's all-time leading rusher or something like that.
He was an FCS guy too. You know, he was toting that rock.
He was a D2 guy who transferred to Youngstown and then he finished his career there. But like, and Estime had a shitload of carries when he was at Notre Dame too. They just kept feeding him the ball. Both those guys are just like, if I had to project what would be the worst possible running back, that's what it would be. There's a reason why they drafted RJ Harvey. I kind of have some faith that Estime could be decent, but he's like your short yardage guy. I compared him to Gus Edwards, and Ryan got so mad at me when I compared Estime to Gus Edwards. He's like, he's not Gus Edwards. He's so much faster and more dynamic than that, and he runs a 4.7. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Gus Edwards is kind of in the ballpark there for Estime.
Yeah. Especially in this room.
I'm excited for RJ Harvey. I am. I've been watching clips of him from Denver.
So geeked up, man.
He could be really, really fun for the league. But right now, it's unproven. What'd you say? Big and slow, small and not very small and not strong.
Yeah, small and not powerful.
If we're putting Najee Harris,
but that's but here's the thing though. If we morph those guys' positive traits into one player, we literally get RJ Harvey because RJ Harvey will run. Oh, here comes Ryan. He will. I was waiting for him. He was quietly waiting. Stop saying my name on the show. Come, Ryan, it's out of love. It's obviously out of love.
I'll tell you what he says about you that's not out of love, RR.
I've never said anything negative about Ryan.
Hey, RR, you send me a text. I'll give you some of the
screw you. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. RJ Harvey's the perfect combination, though, because he runs hard as shit. He bounces off of people. He's low to the ground. He's like a bowling ball. Ryan doesn't like RJ Harvey, too, by the way, for some reason. I don't know why. He never did.
Oh, he looks so smooth.
He was RB6 for me. I don't think he was in Ryan's top 10.
Oh, I was watching some of his jump cuts today. Look good. He
pops in and out of those cuts, man. I love him. One of my favorite players.
Denver. Eventually, we'll do some other not shit and shit lists. Jesus, not shit versus shit lists. And I'm hoping we do sleeper, really make a run teams. Denver is skyrocketing on my expectations for the year. And I'm getting carried away. I'm going to need to be reeled in about them. I'm getting steamed up for the Mile High City. I just said too, as we always do on the show, whenever we have content ideas, we don't wait until after. We just pitch on the show. Yeah. So one, I just realized we never did. We should have probably started with, I guess we'll end with shit or not shit for the teams. I can't believe that never dawned on me. I think we should do a weekly. If there's a way for us to make time in the season, we'll completely rug pull everyone. Weekly power rankings. Everyone's thinking we're going to go in here ranking all 32 teams. It's just shoving the two teams into two categories, completely ruining everybody's day. I think that we should do weekly shit or not shit for the team, for the whole NFL. I like it. Well, because we don't need to. We can revisit last week's and say who gets moved up. It just turns into a 10-minute segment. These I think people get way too comfortable, way too nice talk about the NFL. It's a hardcore league. Yeah. I think shit or not shit is the true hardcore segment of football fans that they need. Spread the word. All right, quick read through on the AFC running backs. Shit was Patriots running back room, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby, Tony Pollard, Isaiah Pacheco, Amarian Hampton / Najee Harris, and then the whole Broncos running back room. Not shit was Devon Achane, James Cook, Derrick Henry, Chase Brown, go figure, Jonathan Taylor, and Ashton Genty, ? Yep. Last little note on this about Harvey. I know you obviously are neck deep in film. Sure. Just a question about him. How fast does he look on film? Did Ryan text you? It's just a question. No, Ryan, I just have a fundamental football question. This is where me and him disagreed on Harvey. Okay. Because when he tested, he ran the 4.4s. I thought he was a 4.4 guy on film, and Ryan disagreed. Ryan thought that he was slower than that. Well, hey, RR, I see that you're also in here. Breece Hall is shit with many question marks.
That
Yeah.
was a Sean decision.
Yeah, buddy. I am out on him. It will be Braylon Allen's job. I don't know.
That I don't know about that.
I think eventually will be.
I'm surprised they didn't draft a running back this year.
Well, they got 3 good ones.
Do they have 3 good ones though? I feel like they
they-
just got a bunch of dudes, man. Like I feel like or actually dudes is too like nice. That's too nice. They just got a bunch of bodies.
Braylon Allen still feels like last year he was the world's strongest high schooler playing in high school in the NFL, where he didn't really know a bunch about running back. And maybe if he can actually, be really well coached to the NFL at the running back position, he could be a freak.
He doesn't do it for me.
Oh, he does it for me.
He doesn't
the
do it for me.
thighs, the body comp, it's really, really impressive.
All right, we've got NFL news that we have to discuss here.